Now we'll see Shirley the Pro is Shirley.
The first of the angels did say, was a certain portion in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping company on a cold winter night that was so. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh is the King of Israel. They go get up and so profound to be in the east, down and far, and to the earth. They great and so into no, 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 God is the King of Israel. Next hour to die to the Lord, or hell into its rest, and everything also and say, right over the place where Jesus lay. Go well, 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 Lord is the King of Israel. Then heaven turned, those wise and three, for remedy upon the knee, and offer there in his presence their gold and myrrh and frankincense. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel.
Thank you, Barbara. Choir. Beautiful song, Noel, one of my favorites. We'd like to welcome you to Unity of the Saints, where two or more gathered in the Ostia Crew. And also, welcome new listener. And if you ever are called to come and visit us personally, the McConnell Center, 246 in Dover, New Hampshire, we love you. We always begin with the daily word. Let me just put this here. Hope and faith. My hope leads me to deepen in faith. As Advent season begins, I feel a quickening, a renewal deep within me as I embark upon a spiritual journey of business. Over the year, I may have hoped for lasting peace, greater love, or abiding joy. But as I have grown spiritually, I have learned to look for those things within, to claim them as aspects of my divine identity. Once I do that, I will begin to see them manifest in my life. Faith is how I bring my hopes to life. Like my other divine gifts, I always have faith. It's up to me to decide how to use it. And I choose to believe that peace will blanket the earth, love will heal our hearts, and joy will bring harmony to the world. I'm using the power of my faith to bring visions to vivid life. And from John chapter 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness not overcome. Again, the affirmation for today, hope and faith. My hope leads me in faith. And we also share our mission each Sunday. If you'd like to join me, please feel free to. Our mission statement is we are a loving, nurturing community dedicated in a positive path to spiritual living, to awaken within us all. It was always also up there. Um, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, we're going to create an involving mission statement, something that represents who we are during the year. But to do that, we have to decide what our theme will be. This theme will be based on one of three things. We are hoping we can come to a consensus on prosperity, Bible, or the Fillmores. When we have our annual meeting today, we will decide. So I hope everyone stays for that annual meeting. It's very, very, very important. Just a little history a while back, we were having a annual meeting, whether we were going to keep unity of the state was open because we were having a difficult time. And one person came in that voted yes, that made it able to stay open. In other words, that's why we need you people for our annual meetings and everything. We need to gather. Thank you. Oh, our annual meeting follows the service, and we do have pizza. Also, Charles has a meditation the first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. The next one is tomorrow night. We have also been broadcast live to YouTube on our YouTube channel. Just type in YouTube, goes in the search button. But even easier, go to our webpage, unityofthesecret.org, and scroll down until you see the links to bring you to our live services or even past services. And all our archive there, in case there's something to look back on and reflect. Our donate button is there. It's a blue button called Tidely. Just click on it. There you go. And if your heart feels called to tithe, please feel free to. And if you prefer to mail your donation, our mailing address is Unity of the Seacoast, McConnell Center, Suite 246, 61 Locust Street, Dover, New Hampshire, 03820. And don't forget to check out our meetup groups for all our events. You can also access this on our webpage as well. Lots of fun things going on at Unity of the Seacoast. Join us for our poetry group, Poets in Unity. And we want to thank Shane Warren for hosting this. is the third Saturday of each month. Our next one is December 16th. Also, there's a game night now on the third Friday of each month at 6:30. Game night is a time to get together. All are welcome to attend. You do not have to be a member of Unity of the Seacoast. Come and have a fun night of playing cards or board games. We have some board games, and you are welcome to bring one to share with us. This was this past Friday again. It was really fun. And also, A Course of Miracles is on hold for a month or two as we sort out the best time and a couple other details. And very important, we're having our annual meeting today. Again, I'm going to mention again, following the service, we will discuss the future of the church as well as select more board members. Another case of Bibles arrived. Feel free to grab one if you have not gotten one. And the last thing here, we will also have our Christmas carol sing along, we believe, on Friday the 22nd. And also how we greet ourselves each Sunday. It's a Sanskrit word meaning namaste. The Christ in me, Christ in me, the Christ in you, or simply the best in me sees the best in you. And I always say the divine in me sees and honors the divine namaste. Okay, now Barbara and our choir will honor us with another song.
Sure. This is a song. Dee Dee. One on Christmas. Sweet little Jesus,
One on Christmas Day,
little baby in a manger.
manger filled with hay.
He was born. He was born.
He was born on Christmas Day. He was born. He was born. He was born on Christmas Day.
This is the story
Of the Messiah's birth,
Sing of the glory
all over the earth.
We will
We'll
sing,
sing,
we will
we'll
sing
sing, all over the earth.
We
We
will
will
sing,
sing,
we
we
will
will
sing.
sing, all over the earth.
The night was dark,
Except for one bright star,
far in the distance.
the light shine from afar.
It was dark, it was dark,
Except for one bright star, it was dark, it was dark. Except for one bright star,
a choir of angels
singing soft and sweet,
shepherds throwing petals,
roses at his feet.
and the choir,
And the choir, singing soft and sweet. And the choir, and the choir, singing soft and sweet.
the song filled the air.
On that glorious morn,
Blessed the hour when sweet little baby was born. He was born, he
he
was
was
born,
born, he was born on Christmas Day.
he was born,
He was born, he was born on Christmas Day.
Oh, thank you, Barbara and Claire. I love that song. It's a good song to dance to. Okay, my favorite part, one of my favorite parts. All of Unity is my favorite part. To introduce our speaker. It's interesting because I was thinking right now, I guess because I read about all the snow they had in the Midwest. Um, I remember, and Tom wasn't doing good, and I know that. I was going out to the Midwest to, I don't know what kind, anyway, it was a cold, rainy day, um, and I wasn't sure to drive to Lincoln Airport, and they had closed down Dover, how handy it was, CMJ. And I just mentioned it to Tom. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it, Logan. I says, you will? No, yeah, I'll take it. I was so grateful I can't even tell you, Tom, because, just gratitude in my heart. That's just one of the things. And then on the way back, when I was to land, um, it was not good weather. It was snowing, um, difficult to drive in a way. But boy, when I landed, I didn't have to wait for Tom. He was right there waiting for me.
That was July. I'm just kidding.
I know I lose my mind sometimes when it wasn't July because I remember cold and snow. I grew up in North Dakota. But anyway, that's who Tom is. And I knew he wasn't feeling good, but he was right there. And even after that, if he sometimes, asked if I want to meet over some community, he wasn't feeling good. He was right there. And boy, when the weather was not good, he was there. And
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much I could say about him. I just love this man. I'm so grateful. His wonderful wife, Casey, always supporting and standing by. And so, without further ado, I want my friend and Reverend Shine.
Thanks, Bonnie. Morning, everyone. A lot of cleanup. Perfect. I didn't know today. I just thought it was a little more coffee table. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Carr. Thank you so much, Barbara. What a great song. And if you guys don't listen, before we start the service, Barbara always tells us the musical thing. That's just perfect. It sets the mood, tone. So, welcome to Sunday. This is our new look. We're getting stuff sorted out between the new cameras and trying to maximize the space. The table was taking up too much room. The TV we thought was too big, we had to break it and buy another one. And then last night my son gave us one, so we'll probably take that. Today I thought we'd do look at the birth of Jesus through the eyes of Matthew. And I'm going to skip the begats because, well, in theory, for this book, there's 3 sets of 14 that goes back through Abraham, through David to Abraham. It's a clear attempt to make sure that the readers understand that Jesus is connected to the Jewish lineage. There are, however, several holes in the begats. One of them, 3 sets of 14, is actually 13, and they also don't line up very well with the Old Testament. And the other major part, it goes through Joseph, which technically isn't Jesus' biological father. So the lineage stops there. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ, according to Matthew. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. And her husband Joseph, being a just man and unwilling to put her to shame, resolved to towards her quietly. But as he considered these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not fear to take Mary as your wife, for that which is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save the people from their sins. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. And when Joseph woke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took his wife, but knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, where is he who had been born the King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and have come to worship him. Then Herod the king heard this, and he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him, and assembled all the chief priests and scribes of the people, and he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. And they told him, Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet. And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. Then Herod summoned the wise men secretly and ascertained from them what time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, go search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word that I too may come and worship him. After listening to the king, they went on their way, and behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them, until it came to rest over the place where the child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding joy. And going into the house, they saw the child with Mary and his mother, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then opening their treasures, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And being in a dream returned to Herod, they departed to their own country by another way. Now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, rise, take the child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and remain there until I tell you. For Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him. And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt, and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet. Out of Egypt I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious. And he sent and killed all the male children of Bethlehem and all that region that were 2 years old or under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. Now, the reason I began with Matthew's version was first because Mark offers no version of the birth of Jesus. The author of Matthew makes a good attempt to tell his story. Here we see the virgin birth. We see that Joseph is married to Mary, but they've not yet come together. We see he has visions of angels and messengers. We see the star, and we're introduced to the idea that Jesus is a threat to the ruling class. A lot of the story that we've grown up with is presented here. Bethlehem, although we don't yet know the reason why they were there. The wise men, frankincense, and myrrh. We do see something that's different from what we're used to. The wise men see the star and wind up in Jerusalem first, when Herod summons them. Then when the wise men arrive in Bethlehem, they enter a house and see Mary and the child. There is no manger. I've looked through several versions of different Bibles, and they all say house except for one, the Christian Standard Bible, which says the place the child was. in an attempt to reconcile the difference between the known stories. And that book changes many of the words in the paragraph. And although it tells basically the same story in a way, these types of changes stand out and we have to be careful of them because it's important. Perhaps not in this time, but this is one of the tools that Hitler used in recreating the Bible, his Nazi-friendly Bible, or as he called it, positive Christianity. He eliminated the Old Testament. He made 12 commandments and took out 2 of the most important ones, thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not steal, in order to make it more friendly toward his mission. And this is, and the other thing he did is add negative stereotypes to the word Jew. Every time the word Jew was mentioned, was followed by a negative stereotype. And now this is something that we still see to this day. We see candidates who do this. They pick on their opponent. Remember Governor Jerry Moonson? That was the governor of California, and he was given that name and stuck for the rest of his life. And it goes back long before that. The Bible uses this technique. Every time they mention Judas Iscariot, it's followed by that who betrayed Jesus. So we're never separated from that idea, whether he betrayed him or not, because several versions that have come out recently may say that he did this at Jesus' will, which would make him the most loyal, not the most hated man. So that's the sidebar. In this version, we begin to build the story that we're familiar with. But we see that the story is lacking in things that we are used to. Again, we don't know why they're in Bethlehem. We know nothing of the census yet. We don't know that the connection to that city, Bethlehem, is this. It goes back to the begat, trying to establish Jesus is connected to the Jewish lineage because David was considered the greatest king of Israel, was born there. So they tie him to Bethlehem, which is also known as the city of David. If Jesus was born in the manger, we don't know it yet. Though it could be true according to the story, because we learn from the time from the story that they may have time to move into the manger. King Herod is aware of Jesus' birth because he sees the star, and he sends the wise men, and it takes months to get to where Jesus is. So in this time, Joseph and Mary may have found the inn, and that would explain the house. And how do we know that it could take months? Because when word reached back to Herod that the wise men had fled, he issued a decree to have all the male children 2 years and under killed. So that we know that by the time this decree gets back to Bethlehem, Jesus could be nearing the age of 2 years. We do rough guess, maybe 7 months to make the trip, 7 months for the wise men to get there, 7 months for word to return, another 7 months for his decree to get back to Bethlehem. Now, this story is different from what we see in our minds, and it's these differences that may have prompted Luke to write the version. If people thought Mark got it right, there'd be no need for Matthew to put forth his version. And if people thought Matthew got it right, there would have been no need for Luke to think I got to put forth a version, and so on. But yet we have 4 versions of Jesus' life. And then we take in consideration those that may have been destroyed, those recently discovered. So we don't know the whole story. The story built in our minds and compiled both Luke's and Matthew's versions to get that one that we're familiar with. History also tells us that Jesus' birth probably didn't happen on December 25th. This day was picked by Constantine. Constantine ruled a city which was half pagan, half Christian. So he picked the holy day to the pagans, which was to celebrate the god of agriculture and the sun god, as Jesus' birthday. So he knew he had at least one day where there was calm throughout his land. Now, does this story have an impact on our lives besides being a good narrative? I like to think so. I'll start with the virgin birth. It represents us. It's the birth of the best of ourselves. It's our Christ within us. It's that seed from God that grows within and expands in us until it manifests to the outside world. That manifestation is small first and grows. At some point in our lives, we begin to make that connection of love and wisdom within us, our masculine and our feminine constantly, and we start living from our Christ-like nature. And we enter in the infant stage of this. Mary represents that pure state of mind that nurtures this birth in us. Joseph is that external good that guides and protects us as we begin Christ-like life. Joseph is that side of us that reacts for love and for the betterment. Joseph is intuitive wisdom. Herod represents those external forces that are absent of love, that they may lead us to each our own demise, which is the destruction of our thoughts and ideas. There are several ideas of what the wise men stand for, but I simply look at them like this. People come in and out of our lives to pass the wisdom, and we decide which wisdom suits us. Such in the same way that you decide what I say suits you or not. It's well intentioned, but it always does not line up. There's symbolism when they saw Jesus and they fell to their knees. Because when someone passes their wisdom, someone comes out of the way to greet you and teach you. They're honoring you, in a sense, they're dropping to your knees and giving you respect. So when people do this, don't take it lightly. You don't have to take their wisdom, but honor the gesture that they care enough about you. Herod's decree, we've all met those, it's my way or the highway. There's not enough room for more than their opinion. Their ego needs to assert itself, to kill off any new idea, any new thought, or anything that may seem to take away the light from them. They cannot see the world as big enough to nurture all ideas. Peers do this. Parents do this as their children grow. Spouses and lovers do this. Anyone who feels threatened, you can erode your ideas and your advancement. Thinking, okay, Tom, still good. Well, as we grow in life, we speak and we try to identify with our best self. And it starts now with listening nurture. Each new aha moment is a new awakening that requires gentleness until it becomes fully fixed, fully developed part of who that we are. And we're going to find those who are in support of us, those who lift us and carry us, and we're going to find those who go against us. Also, they include those things that we tell ourselves that go against us. And we have to decide which thoughts will raise us and which thoughts will erode us. And we get to choose the ones that we listen to. Sometimes we do retreat as those thoughts go into something that can weather adversity. Such as Joseph retreated in Egypt. We all those ideas and thoughts that are in an infant stage, and we know they're not formulated, not enough to withstand scrutiny at the time. I do this all the time. I come up with a thought, and then I tell Casey, and then she asks me a question, and I stumble, and I start to try and answer like I know it, but then I have to say, I just thought of it. I don't have any details. But we all do this. And much of life is like this. We haven't worked out the details. And we get vulnerable, we get guarded, and we get to protect. Baby Jesus is a new form, thought, or idea within us. It's a new direction or path. It's the way toward infant stage. As we are in our infant stage, we discovered Jesus in this way. We get to take this story and see ourselves in it and watch how it develops. And what develops become endless. The Spirit takes hold and grows, and our possibilities soar. It's the birth of infinite possibilities within us. Think of yourself as a baby and all that you can dream. You're the hero of your story. You are your own Messiah. You can set your goals and become them. Create that dream. And I don't know what it is for you, but I know you guys enough to know that it's wonderful. Maybe you can be that hero for someone else. I posted an idea on Facebook that I saw about the blessing bags last week, where grab socks, maybe a hat, gloves, um, canned protein bar, anything you can put in those bags. And when you pass someone in need, you can hand them to them. In fact, I made 12 to bring those next and hope people take them so they can hand out. It wasn't bring them in today, all the stuff we have to kind of serve on. But you get to decide you can be someone else. And when you can start to create the possibilities for you, you help them, and your mindset is filled with joy. And then you turn that mindset toward yourself and toward your dream. Doesn't matter your age. I became a minister at 57. Casey changed careers at 60. Write a book, learn that craft, you know, set a plan to see that new site, Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyon, Grand Canyon, anything. Just set that goal, take a step toward it. Maybe your dream is to get out more and call someone and go have lunch, go for a walk. When it's cold, walk in the mall. This time of year, all the malls open. Wherever I go, wherever I do, I see people of all ages doing things, and they're no more special than you or I. They just decided to become their potential. Now I go to open mics. I see people who just learned to play and others who played for years. And I met a guy who handed me a business card, elderly gentleman, and said, "I'm a rock." All right. And then he told me, and everyone else looked up his name. We have access to every bit of information now. And it turned out he was a rock. Back in 1969, wrote a song, became a minor hit, but he got to live out his dream, and he's been playing guitar around the country ever since. You know, and maybe it's not a big deal because years ago he's living the life he wants to live. And why did I meet him? Because at the age of 47, I decided that I could play a guitar. And I taught myself, I learned one song, Day Is Done by John Prine. I grabbed my guitar, and there was an open mic almost across the street. I went in there, and I called up, and sat there, and I played my one song and sang. And I sucked. But I got to play my guitar and sing in front of people like I was someone. But better than that is the guy who was running the show came up and he goes, "So what else you got?" You know, and that was it. But we became such good friends. He's been my mentor ever since. One of the kindest people I've ever met. And the reason I mention that is because when you decide to go after your dreams, things line to make your dreams happen. God would have it no other way. But it requires faith and it requires action, taking the steps. You know, years ago, I told you when I collapsed on the heart issue, I was waiting on the ground to the hospital. Right then, I realized I now have time to take my ministry classes. Most people would be hoping they could breathe. I had plans way beyond that. From that moment, life has been lining up to make that happen. I mean, here I am. I get to speak in front of you. I've had articles published in the book, which I promote every week. I got to speak in Kansas City. I have an open invitation in South Carolina, in Jupiter, Florida. This from a guy who used to work at a gas station, be a mechanic his whole life. That was the goal my parents had set for me. I set a little bit higher goal that I would work with my hands. It never occurred to me that I could use my mind as well. I never thought of that potential. Not that there's anything wrong with working with your hands. I just knew that for me, there was more if I didn't have the belief until I did. And then everything lined up. I want each of you guys to believe in yourselves and your possibilities. Everything in life has got you here. You chose to walk through that door. Be thankful and choose to let the infant dreams in you come alive and manifest to its greatest potential. So a relationship, where someone didn't meet you, that's an impact that has no bearing on the decisions that you make today. Jesus, when he went back to his home, people he thought loved him wanted to stone him. They chased him out of town because of this new Jesus they didn't recognize. There are those who are going to try and inherit you, going to try to kill your dreams. They don't matter. So you didn't dream during your 20s or your 30s, or someone who's about to start the 20s. But you can start now. Herman Wouk wrote books into his 105th year, and he was writing, 80 years. But take this Christmas story and apply it to life. Share the spirit with others, but make sure you keep enough to share with yourself. Thank you. I'm going to step back. I'll do the meditation song.
No greater of it, the Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head. The stars in the sky looked down where he lay. The little Lord Jesus was asleep on the hay. The baby face, Lord Jesus, no crying he makes. I love the Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my cradle till the morning is nigh. Jesus, I ask thee to stay by forever and love me, I pray. So the dear children in the tender care and take us to heaven to live with thee there.
So next week, I'm going to take a look at what it means being a seeker and a spiritual person during the Christmas season. I always want to make sure that I get a metaphysical connection to what we do. And so that's the goal for next week. Beyond that, find it out in the Word. So I'm going to read for meditation 2 more prayers of the book World Prayers for Peace from all your religions. Today will be from Lao Tzu, and the second one will be the Baha'i Prayer for Peace. So if you can ask everyone to get comfortable. And breathe in and out. And develop your own comfortable breathing pattern. We come together knowing that there is one presence and power in our life and in the universe. God, the good, great, there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nation. If there is peace in the nation, there must be peace in the city. If there is to be peace in the city, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is peace between neighbors, then there must be peace in the home. If there is peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. A Baha'i prayer for peace. Be generous in prosperity. Be thankful in adversity. Be fair in thy judgment. Be guarded in thy speech. Be a lamp unto those who walk in darkness. Be a home to the stranger. Be eyes to the blind and a guiding light into the feet of the caring. Be a breath of light to the baby and a deer of the human heart and the fruit upon the tree of humility. Each week we come together and we look at the world from our city to our town, to our state, to our country, to everywhere. And we hold and affirm peace in the world. We hold and affirm strength of character, a personal moral center. We affirm health and wholeness upon everyone, and wisdom and love. And I ask you at this moment to think of those people in your life who need wholeness, health, and love, and wisdom, and character, moral center, and the ability to be grounded. And affirm that for them. Because at any given moment, there's people going through stuff, fighting a battle that they may only know about. And they're fighting it so bravely that they never know. And we are there for them as well as we're there for those who openly ask and need our help. We are connected. We are nature. Everything is in nature and in the world happens in and through us. And one say, we all do. And one of us smiles, we all smile. That's what they come back to me. as we affirm that this is so, and so it is. Amen. We'll do the collections and then the prayer ties and offerings. Like on this coffee bag.
Yeah.
When it's
That is the torch comes from the it's Jesus for the village Christ Lord and calling it is sleeping easy to speak some love. Side promise me for the cradle as knowledge wait Jesus hush see how fast we slumber hush see how fast we sleep.
divine, as the blessed and multiplied, all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all I receive. And so it is. Amen. Bonnie, thank you. And we will end it with a prayer of protection and then join us for the peace song. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed. Thank you all.